Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm Laura.
And I'm May. And today, guys, we have a hot one. We're talking about Gawker and sex tape scandals.
Ooh, spicy. I love a sex tape scandal. Let's get into it.
Who doesn't?
Well, May. Another week.
Another week. Here we are. One more. We're back. Can you believe it?
Sweater game.
Yeah, actually, we're matching pretty well today.
I was going to say. And also, they're both like bold sweaters.
Are you renting yours?
This is one of the sweaters where I was like, I should start to rent these things.
Yeah.
This is a sweater you wear like twice and everyone's like, oh, you know, the big blue splotchy sweater.
I wore a sweater once, like actually last winter. I was wearing this one particular sweater so much that
was it the black sweater, the black turtleneck?
No, well it was the black sweater, although I do wear that one a lot. I was a black sweater with a big rose on it.
Love that.
And what's it called? And I had this one Instagram that got a lot of likes, and I walked into the comic strip, and my friend Kyle Mara goes, he was like, oh, I liked your Instagram, the one with the sweater you wear all the time. I was like, oh my God, is that noticeable to me?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle Mara. Friend of the pod. Everyone's a friend of the pod. They just don't know it.
I know. We should just start... Michelle Obama, friend of the pod.
Everyone's like, we didn't even know you had a fucking pod. Like, nobody listens to this.
Paris Hilton, thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, speaking of Paris Hilton, I actually recently watched American Meme. It's on Netflix now. Have you seen this?
I have not seen this. Where did this originate?
So, I don't know where it originated.
Is this a Quibi? It feels like a Quibi.
It does feel like a Quibi. But I actually think it was made a few years ago, and it's like a bunch of like internet celebrities, and they talk about their experiences. So like Paris Hilton was one, Fat Jew, you know, people like that. There was like this one guy who was famous for like pouring champagne on people's butts. I was like,
oh wait, like the
his name is Krill.
Kim Kardashian did that, didn't she?
Oh yeah, but hers was like classy for Paper Magazine. His is like, yeah. The epitome of class is pouring champagne off of Kim Kardashian's butt.
Oh, that was the break the internet thing, wasn't it? Which was like, all right.
I mean, she did do a good job of breaking the internet. I would say that the celebrity who has broken the internet the most has got to be, hands down, Donald Trump. DJT.
Oh, yeah.
He got kicked off the fucking internet.
Good for him. I mean, not good for him, but like, you gotta give him props for like that one thing. He was popular. Not popular, but, you know.
I mean, yes, popular.
But popular, yeah.
I mean,
by the true sense of the word.
Yeah.
We couldn't get him off our lips. Gross. Oh, God,
no,
I hate
actually, I'm wondering what to say. Yeah, I hate that you said off your lips.
I hate that. I'm going to kill myself now. Goodbye. This is my last one.
We're going to keep that in the pod, but I'm going to erase it from my memory.
Now it's in yours. Haha.
But here's what, like, I really am genuinely curious to see what the media does without him. I'm sincere.
They're going to... I'm worried a little about them.
I'm worried too, because the
it's
natural
like a breakup where...
Right, like it's kind of like when, like me and three friends, like me, friends of the pod.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, me, Paris Hilton, and Michelle Obama hang out, and like me and Paris will gang up on Michelle.
Exactly.
And then like when Michelle leaves, ultimately, I'm gonna have to gang up on Paris. Like, so I'm worried that like now that he's gone and people like, it'd be really gauche for people still to be talking about him. It's like enough. So are people now gonna shit talk Biden? Like, what's Colbert gonna do? What are all these late night people truly?
The late night shows are all like completely centered on politics now. It's just politics, like shit talk hour, which is a delight and super fun. But what if it's like your dude? Well, I mean, I had to stop. About 4 years ago or whatever, I was like, listen, this is really important. I get it. Mm-hmm. However, I need therapy too much to listen to any more of this. And it's causing me actual emotional harm, and I need to put a wall, and I'm obviously very lucky that I blah, 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 rights, etc. I still give them the money and all that, you know, I just don't need to read it every day, you know what I mean? I
agree with you, and also, like, it doesn't need to be central to my personality. People make it their personality.
There's so many people where it's like, you're defining yourself based on your stance on another person.
And it's sort of like, okay, but you're not in any way working towards a goal for them. You're just wasting energy and talking about it on Twitter. You're not like fundraising for them.
Especially Twitter, where it's like only the extremes are present there.
I hate it. I hate Twitter.
you're not convincing. You're not going to go on Twitter and just be like getting any moderates over on your sides because they're not on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what they are? They're at a bar. Well, not this year.
They're somewhere paying their mortgage. Like,
right. They're
taking their kids to school.
They're probably on Instagram, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd love, there's never going to be a way to like actually get the breakdown of all the numbers, but it would be so interesting to see.
It would be interesting to see. And it's also interesting, like, I know that they took down Parler or whatever, which was the conservative, I don't even know what the fuck it was, Instagram?
They didn't take it down. They took it out of the app stores.
Oh, okay.
Which is different, however, essentially the same thing. And that's like such a big story that I want us to do it, but it gives me just a pit of anxiety.
It's a lot
when I think
to
about
unpack.
it.
And I don't want to get anything wrong, because I already get tons of shit wrong. And
we're like just winging it out. But it's about like Boeing, and everyone's like, sure. I'm gonna remember maybe one thing you said, so don't worry about it.
But like stuff like this, I don't know. Especially like free speech, it's really a brain twister for me, because like
100%.
The reason that we're able to do this, for instance, and talk shit is because of free speech. And it's kind of interesting. I was saying to my boyfriend the other day, I was like, we're slowly becoming the only country in the world where it's becoming like illegal or like at least highly frowned upon to talk positively about the president. Isn't that interesting?
Huh. Yeah, we're like the opposite.
Like if you say something positive about Trump, like especially in the entertainment business, like we could lose our careers. Totally. How funny is that?
Totally.
Careers. That's a loose term. But
our iPhones, they'll take them.
They're gonna come to
our
door.
Our YouTube rights. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's just definitely. I feel like we've started. I want to say censored, but again, you're right. Like that's kind of the wrong word for it's because you're not being censored. Like there's countries where you are censored. Yes. You cannot say whatever you want.
Right.
Here you can, but there's those repercussions, which is still free speech. Free speech doesn't mean that. It just means you can't go to jail for what you're saying necessarily.
But if you lose your job and everything, then
that's not great. But you're still allowed to do it. You just there's still repercussions for what you're saying.
And like Trump, you can't incite a fucking riot.
Well, then there's that. Well, then that's a whole other thing. And also, you're the president.
I know. I love how people are like, this is a slippery slope to death. I'm like, this is a slippery slope to people not fucking rushing the Capitol.
Right. What is up? But,
crazy.
Good times. Yeah, and tomorrow's the inauguration, just again to give you an idea of where our head's at.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you guys aren't like, oh God, enough of this already.
If it's in a week and like the world is burned to the ground or whatever.
Sorry.
Then.
Are you worried about the inauguration?
I'm not personally, because. This is my hot take. This is my only like political analytics I'll provide. Okay. Once again.
Yeah.
I think that they aren't going to do anything because before they had the promise of the presidential pardons, kind of dangling there, where they were like, "We'll do whatever we want, and the president will just pardon us." Which, to be honest, I didn't think of that. That's pretty slick, actually.
Yeah, it is, but like he's definitely not going to, right?
Sure. Either way, but like there was the possibility if he actually goes through on it.
And these dumb. Sorry, but like idiots, like low IQ adults. I'm so sorry, but it's true.
There was a swimmer in there.
No way.
I literally.
Did you know them?
Well, they like loosely.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's been like all over the news, so it's not exactly like I'm breaking a story here. But 𝐂𝐿𝐎𝐿 was there.
Wow.
And he wore his USA gear.
No, he did not.
We were like, what are you doing, sweetie? Not sweetie. But then you read his story, and Homeboy just had a rough go of it. Not that that's an excuse, but I was just like, oh boy, maybe some time in a jail cell just to sit for a second and just like sit and think about yourself.
Wow.
Might not be the worst thing.
I gotta look into this.
It was all over like all the swimming news.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I don't
swimswam.com. You don't go to that? That's crazy. Swimming world? It's bizarre. Literally like 100 people that go there. That's it. Matthew was one of them.
Nice. That is bananas.
It's
really
wild.
Crazy.
Also, the fact that he wore his Olympic gear there, I was like, relax.
He wanted. That's like makes me think that he was obviously thinking like he was going to get pardoned no matter what, because it's very identifiable.
He's
obviously
6'7".
Or did he not know that this is like punishable by law? The things that he was doing.
I mean, he's not like a smart dude, because he did this, but he also like did go to school. Like he is like he should have known. I'm sure he knew this wasn't just a low risk like activity. It's not like
Wow.
You don't just cruise through sieging the Capitol.
That's insanity.
Insane. So we'll let you know how that goes. I think he's been taken in, but I couldn't really tell you. I've been drowning.
I wonder how long they're going to go to jail. I mean, I guess it obviously varies on the severity of the things that they did, but...
Yeah, I have no idea.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so the world's weird, so if it burns, maybe we won't post this.
Yeah.
No, we will. Like, oh, we will. No, we will. We would never not post.
Well, also, I think that now, after what's happened, the inauguration is probably going to be, like, insanely... There's so much security, obviously. But...
Well, let's hope. But also, I would assume that Trump's group isn't the one organizing the inauguration.
No, I would assume not. Also, can we talk about the fact that Tom Hanks apparently is hosting it?
Also, he was like COVID case number 1. Yeah. Remember that? Remember when Tom Hanks got COVID and we were all like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he was like the spokesperson to be like, you guys should listen because this is a real thing going on. But that's number 1. Number 2, it's like, can we not feed directly into a QAnon conspiracy that he's a kid diddler?
Really, maybe we could have just picked someone
else. We could have picked anybody else. He's not even that relevant.
It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, instead they're like,
also, do we need a host?
Yeah, do we need a host of the inauguration? That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, why is this like a fucking Super Bowl
Hollywood event?
Like halftime show?
Hollywood's just been, raring to go. So, and they were like, well, Tom Hanks has antibodies famously. Like, bring him on over.
Oh my God. I feel like if I were in QAnon, I would be like, what other...
I know.
Like, they're just stoking the fire with these people. It's insanity. Also, Mark wrote a joke for Ricky Gervais for, like, that speech he did when he hosted something. And Tom Hanks, like, they panned to Tom Hanks' face during it. And he made, like, a weird face. So, therefore, I hate Tom Hanks forever.
He was just like, huh? Listen, that sounds like a Mark Norman joke.
You don't laugh at one thing that Mark does, and you're out of here forever.
How dare you? Well, still very cool. I'm sure it was a good joke. Maybe not, actually. Tom Hanks didn't like it, so.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks. He is
just the
expert
on humor. He nailed it. Oh, man. What a year, though. It's been, I mean, I don't know about you. Work is finally, like, I feel like everyone was just, since mid-November, they kind of just leave for a while. And then everyone had taken no PTO. So then the last 3 weeks of December, everyone was like, see ya. Mm-hmm. So it was very quiet for a while. And now all of a sudden everyone's realizing they haven't done anything in 2 months. And it's been actually insane at the office.
Yeah, it's been really crazy too at my office. And I feel like I decided that I was going to start working this week, but that doesn't mean that my clients decided that either. Yeah. So I'm like,
come on, guys.
Like, have you heard from legal? They're like, what? I don't know. And then they ignore my.
Who's that?
Yeah. And then they just ignore my email forever and whatever.
Oh that's my favorite. Just following up.
Oh God.
Yeah.
This is what I hate. If anybody is in the position of buying out there and you're talking to someone in software sales or just in product sales, anything, and you know that the answer is no, they keep following up with you, just fucking say no. I hate that. Yeah. Like, I had a girl, she told me, like, back in November, she was like, I'm definitely going to buy, I'll get back to you in, like, a week. And I was like, great. Didn't get back to me, obviously. And then I check in with her once every, like, 3 weeks, like, and I make up some bullshit excuse where I'm like, I have to close out the opportunity and I need a reason why this is being closed. So what's the reason?
Right.
And I'm like, I'll literally be like, A, you don't have funds for this.
Yeah, reply back,
B,
ABC.
You chose a competitor. I'm like, and she, like, won't respond back. And I checked and she's still there. I don't get, like, an out of office or, like, it drives me insane.
Oh my God, let's find her. Let's find
her
online.
Let's find her and let's kill her.
Say her name. I love so I've definitely had those. I recently had one that was great where someone replied back, it's not in our budget. Like, your price is too high. We had never sent pricing. And I reply back and I go, hey.
I love that.
I was like, at least you tried. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, whatever. I get you're clearly not trying to do something right now, so it's fair.
Like, how poor is your company that you're like, we can't afford anything? And by anything, we mean
zero.
The
price of a price is not going to work. You should look for a new job.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And also, what's the price of a data breach? Hey-o.
Well, that's what I say all the time, and they're just like, yeah, this is my fucking life. Like, we know. Like,
God.
It's a very stressed out group of people, let me tell you that. But
yeah.
And also every other week, I wish I could do the breaches that are going on. I'm not going to because I want to keep my job if possible.
Yeah. And I don't know enough about them. I'd be getting everything wrong, and you'd just be like, ugh.
Let me just tell you, we're all fucked. That's my summary.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Seriously?
There's so many breaches going on right now.
Really?
Which you think? Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay, so should I change all the passwords?
Nah, you're fine. Consumers are fine. It's like more like the government and shit. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's more fucked.
Wow.
It's fine.
Yeah, tell me
what I mean?
How the government is going to
implode.
We'll be fine.
You know,
Great.
we got their info, they got our info. It's just like a yin and yang situation.
Yeah.
It's like a symbiotic. It's like our version of nukes now. We're like, what if I just have all your info and I delete it? We're like, whoa, not necessarily. I'm just saying things.
Wait, I want to see. I'm following the story about the girl who took Nancy Pelosi's laptop.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
I haven't really looked into it. Also, like, if they're worth anything, she shouldn't be able to do anything with it. But
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you can't just get into it because you can get into.
But the problem is that Nancy Pelosi is old. I'm sorry.
No, but that's so.
You're right. Like she probably has like
password 1, 2, 3.
Her password's probably like Nancy Pelosi love or something.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi superstar ice cream.
Exactly. And that's your password. And you go and then there's like a passwords document where it's like my financial documents. Every email ever. Like we're like, oh my God, Nancy.
Never forget 2 things about Nance. The first is when she gave a tour in the beginning of quarantine of all the ice creams in her refrigerator. Do you remember this?
No.
And she was like,
Nancy Pelosi loves icecream.com.
She was like trying to be relatable, and she's like
AOC can do it. I'm gonna do it.
I love this papaya mix that I get from South Africa, shipped in here in cold ice.
We're like so relatable.
Yeah. And then she had like literally like 3 fucking freezers worth of ice cream, and they were all like super fancy ice cream. You gotta watch this clip.
Oh my God.
And
that sounds really great.
2, when Nance and Co got kente cloths.
Wait, no. That made my day. Straight up, I was just like, oh my God, is it Christmas? Like, what's going on?
I mean,
I assume you're canceled, right? You're all canceled.
That was the cringiest thing.
My racist I was like, wait, this feels racist once again. Hold on.
You just lick your finger, hold it up in the air.
Excuse me. Where's...
It's so...
Right there.
Nothing gets me... Like, it just gets me good when people that are trying so hard not to be racist that they become racist. That is
absolutely.
The funniest fucking
thing
to me.
Evolve into it. And that's like,
hilarious.
Felt really racist.
It felt not good.
Whew.
It felt
maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am.
I tried to make a sketch with my sister's baby, making fun of that, where I was like calling him like a white pig and whatever, and it would like pan to him and pan to him, and then
classic.
And I got a kente cloth off of Amazon, and I wanted to like, and I started to like put it on him. I was like,
your sister like,
yeah, I was like, this will be hilarious. Don't worry about it. And her husband was like, whatever this is, I'm not allowing it.
I am vetoing you making my baby a racist kente cloth baby.
Yeah, and I was like, but it'd be so hilarious because he's like a baby, and people. And I was like, I was gonna call him a skinhead in it because he had no hair, obviously. But anyway, they put the kibosh on that. Could have gone viral, but
God, that baby would have already been viral, had all these followers, but instead it's not racist. So.
Yeah, exactly. But I could tell my sister's husband was like so uncomfortable. He was like,
I mean, to be fair,
baby.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we're making fun of him, and he's supposed to be like an anonymous baby, but it's like
there is eventually. All the celebrities who blur out their babies' faces or put like emojis on it and stuff like that. Is it like?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess it's good. I don't know. I don't have a baby. Meanwhile, I'm over here like trying desperately to make everyone look at my cat. I'm like, please look at my cat. Please look at it.
That's a very attractive cat.
He's hot.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. But I feel like that would be my instinct for the baby too, but I guess not, perhaps.
Well, I guess I've heard a lot of parents say that it's because the kid can't give consent to be on the internet or whatever. And I'm like, I think that's going like a little far. It's just like, whatever. It's, you know, who cares? It's your baby. But at the same time, I could see if you were like, listen, I feel like it's kind of weird and I want my kids to have a little privacy, great. But when you're like throwing around words like consent and baby.
Yeah, that makes me feel like, what do you got on your mind right now?
Yeah, yeah.
What does this baby need consent for?
But I think the other way is even worse. I hate when people will post photos of like their baby in a bath with like their butt, and I'm
I agree. Where it's like, maybe just, you know, have normal standards, like the privates get covered.
Yeah.
Right? We can do a middle ground. Oh.
If you want to send that photo to the grandmother, like,
that's
have
fair.
at it. Great, you know.
Well, meanwhile, please look at Password.
Yeah.
How handsome he is. He is a handsome boy.
He's very, very handsome.
Carry on.
So little for like a full-grown cat.
I know it.
Yeah.
We don't feed him. I'm just kidding.
Weren't you accidentally starving him for a little while?
I didn't. Okay, I gotta provide the context on that now. So, Password was growing, and so apparently needed to eat a lot. And he'd sleep in the room with us, and we'd close the door, and his food's in the kitchen, and he'd be throwing up in the morning, consistently. And we took him to the vet, and we were like, "What's up?" And they were like, "Oh, he's hungry." And I was like, "What?
Why is he throwing up if he's hungry?"
I guess when you get that hungry, I was like, "Am I doing this every morning?" I'm like, and it's not that long. I mean, we're sleeping in 8 hours or so. I was like, he can't go more than 8 hours without a snack. Like, damn. That's a hungry cat.
Yeah, a hungry hippo. I just leave the dry food out all the time, like around the clock.
Out here we do too. But it was just we closed the door while we were sleeping to the kitchen. So we had to just get him another bowl. Anyway,
I see.
So now he doesn't throw up anymore.
Why? Why do you close him in there with you?
Yeah, because we don't like the light from in here.
Oh, okay.
So we want like dark in there. And then if he's out here, then he would have a fucking fit. He'd just cry at the door. Yeah. And we're like, that's not gonna work. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't let Greg sleep with us because he fucking stinks and he gets poop on his paws sometimes.
Good for you. I mean, I literally don't think I'd be able to stop him. He would just cause a fit. You know? Yeah. I feel like I've trained Greg pretty well. He just succumbs to it. He knows it's time. That's fair. Yeah. Well, kitties, those are the only cats. Those are the cats. Those are the only kids that we have right now. That's true. And you can see them on Password the Cat Instagram.
Greg Cutenon.
All right, what's our story today?
All right, so actually, I have a really good one. I'm really excited about this one. And it actually is a good segue from our conversation about free speech. Because this one started a lot of the conversations around, what's free speech, what's harassment, what's kosher, what's not kosher, and what's a public figure versus, does that public figure deserve a private life?
This is what was that show where the guy fucked a pig?
What?
Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I thought you were talking about a documentary.
Oh, no. I mean, just didn't.
Probably.
Yeah, that was the punchline of that show, too. So, sorry. Just spoilers on Black Mirror.
Did he actually fuck it in the end?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I mean, I guess he had to, right? Because the threat was a bomb.
Yeah, it was Black Mirror. I don't like that show. I mean, I like that show, but I'm I can't. It's too much.
It's really good, but it's
it really sticks in your brain, though. Yeah. I'm oh, and then I have to think about some guy fucking a pig, and I don't want to think about that.
Yeah,
I'm all set. All set.
It's the kind that will it will really keep you up at night, or you'll have some crazy.
Oh my god, the one with the robot dogs.
Oh yeah,
that scared the shit out of me. I was not okay.
That was I mean, that show though. It is banger after banger.
Yeah.
Those writers are fucking
genius.
Talented.
Also messed up. They need therapy.
Yeah, I know. Sure. I like to think about that where I'm their brains had to go there.
Also, what did they not put up? What were the ideas thrown away?
Yeah. Ooh, I'd like to see that.
I would love to see
Probably
that.
Turn into a Quibi.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. So, Gawker Media, if you're not familiar with it, it's a now taken down, debunked, I guess you should say.
It's dead. Gawker is dead.
It was basically a blog, and it was founded by this guy, Nick Denton, and Elizabeth Spires, who are both media moguls based in New York City. And it was focusing on celebs in the media industry. So the blog promoted itself as the source for daily Manhattan media news and gossip.
Love that.
So, yeah. Sounds fun. Sounds catty. Kind of like Perez Hilton-y.
Oh, yeah. Is that still a thing?
I don't know, actually.
was a big thing for a while. And
it was a big thing.
Weren't they always getting sued or something? Or him?
They were always getting sued, and I loved it in college. And now I'm realizing, I'm like, does that make me a horrible person? Because it's basically him just bullying people on the
Absolutely is. But I also think it was new at that point. So I don't think we understood how bad that was yet. Because we're just learning more about having more of the tools to think about more of the impacts of these kind of things. But it was like case study number 1, and we're like, well, that's really interesting. And now I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, and I also think, like, I've said this on some of our other pods at the time, I kind of thought of celebrities as, like, not human beings.
Right. I mean, it's easy to do. Yeah. You know, like...
super easy to do.
I feel like social media actually helps you consider them real.
Yeah.
Because back then... there wasn't even Instagram necessarily.
No, there wasn't. So you would just hear about them, like, based on, only Jennifer Aniston got caught eating a sandwich in an unflattering way. Put it down! Yeah.
No!
I actually read, that was a weird example because I read that she's eaten the same salad every day for lunch for, like, 10 years.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
I mean, homegirl looks fucking good.
She looks awesome, but, like,
so what's that salad?
Actually, first of all, what's the salad?
Yeah.
Second of all, go to a doctor. Clearly,
that feels like an OCD
control
thing.
issues. Yeah, exactly. That's a symptom of something.
That's something. I used to have this thing. Now we're like really on a tangent. I swear, guys, we'll get back to Gawker. But I did have a thing for a number of years where I had to have 5 almonds in the morning, and if I had 6, like my sister would die in a fire. If I had 4,
you have some pretty
my sister would die in a fire.
Great stories about your old eating habits.
Yeah.
I remember.
It would had to be 5 every day. 5, and if it wasn't 5. Forget it. Like all
right. Well, good for you.
Everybody in my life was gonna die.
I hope you went to go to a doctor, May. 5 almonds. Also, that's not like I wouldn't even register that.
No,
that wouldn't. I would not. I would black out and eat 25 almonds.
Well, I could eat other things. I could have the 5 almonds in yogurt.
Start?
No. I could have Greek yogurt with 5 almonds on top. It just always had to be 5. So it wasn't even about like having like a low calorie meal. Like I could have eggs, but I would have to have the 5 almonds at some point during breakfast.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Your parents probably like, okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like cats don't do that shit.
No,
they just throw up in the morning.
Yeah. Like regular people. Listen, Password's a lot more well adjusted than I am.
5 almonds in the morning.
And it always had to do with my sister. And then like
when kind of sweet though.
Yeah, it is kind of cute. When my sister got pregnant, I was like, "Holy shit! Do you have any idea the fucking pressure you're putting on me to keep you
eating these goddamn almonds? 5 almonds every morning.
I can't.
Do you still do that, or are you?
No, I don't know what I like. I have a few of these OCD things that I've done that like I don't know what day it was that I stopped, but I just like stop and don't notice it. It's really weird.
It's almost like anticlimactic.
Yeah, like I used to have a shoulder tap thing that I did, and I stopped doing that randomly, and I like don't even notice that I didn't do it.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, that's strange. Anyway.
That is strange.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably its own episode. All right, let's go on to Gawker though. Okay,
so Gawker was fucking hilarious, and it was just completely ruthless, and it used to have these like insane headlines and stories. So I'm gonna go through a few of my favorites.
Oh hell yeah.
Before we get into my main story, but man, these are fucking funny. Okay, so headline number 1: for sale, a video of Toronto Mayor Rob Ford smoking crack cocaine. So pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I mean that was like an amazing story. You're familiar with that story?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was so good.
They actually when they did this, was this a joke or were like they literally had the video?
No, they really had it. So Gawker raised $200,000 to bankroll the purchase of an iPhone video that was that showed Rob Ford smoking crack cocaine. And so the deal to buy the video fell through before the purchase happened, but the coverage of like the behind the scenes conversations were still published on Jezebel or not.
So that video is just out there.
Gawker.
Vibing?
Yeah. Oh, it's just out there vibing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What does smoking crack cocaine look like? I'm not familiar with these kinds of things.
I mean, I've never smoked crack cocaine before, thankfully, because I feel like I'm the kind of person that would really get addicted to it.
It's a whole other my life path. Let's keep it to wine and LaCroix.
Yeah, please. But it basically, there's like a long little pipe, and then...
Oh, okay, so it's pretty notable.
Oh, yeah.
That it's like...
It's very
It's not like, it could have been...
No.
Something else.
I mean, the other thing that it could have been is like meth.
Okay.
So it's sort of like
that's not great either.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, honestly, like, what I would love to have lived in Toronto at that time to be like, who gives a fuck what I'm doing at my job? The mayor's smoking crack.
That's so true. Like, how are you going to get mad about me for being, like, late from lunch?
Yeah.
The mayor is smoking crack.
I would also be furious if I was in prison for, like, selling crack. I'd be like, the mayor bought from me. Oh, my
God.
Yeah. That's a whole...
That's actually, like, a... Yeah, there's a lot... That's a... Okay, so anyway, they have that. They tried to have that video.
There's a good documentary out on Netflix right now about the crack epidemic, and it's so fucking racist and so horrible, and it's very frustrating.
Drugs.
Yeah, so back to some more fun topics. So headline number 2 that I loved was how we fooled Donald Trump into retweeting Benito Mussolini.
Oh my God. What year?
I think that this was in like 2015 or something.
Hell
so it was like right before they had to shut down, and also right before, spoiler alert, and also right before like he became president. Yeah,
that's damn.
2014.
I could totally see that though, like in like one of those inspirational quote like fonts.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mussolini probably like said a lot of off the like something that would just seem innocuous enough, you know, like power is. We love it.
Exactly. So the tweet, basically this girl, the senior writer, Ashley Feinberg, she created a bot that was just like tweeting several times a day at him.
Created a bot sounds so fancy when it's literally like just made another.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. She built a robot.
Hacker.
So the quote that he used was, "It's better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep," which is like
fair enough. I can totally see that, you know, going on some board and some like next to a Fight Club poster, you know.
If you hear somebody talk enough, some of the things that you can like pick out some things 100%. That they make sense. Obviously, that's why like so many SJWs were getting caught fucking retweeting Farrakhan. Do you know about this?
I don't know. Wait,
so they were retweeting Farrakhan, which is the best part about this is that they kept retweeting him when he made some speech on Donahue, which is like a Dr. Phil from like the 1970s.
Yes.
And he was talking about like racial justice, which is great, but that's one small clip of this man. This
Farrakhan
man
has a lot of other beliefs.
He also calls Jewish people termites, so they left that part out.
Racial justice for
right.
Anyway, point being, check your sources or just tweet wildly. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Nobody's gonna remember.
Chaos.
Chelsea Handler was one of the people who retweeted or like reposted Farrakhan, which I find hilarious because she's herself Jewish.
And she should also like, she's one of the people where like you'd hope
would be
educated on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really fucking embarrassing.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah, but it just goes to show like I don't think that people do the due diligence, and most people I should say aren't like, they're not posting to like educate people. They're just posting to say like, see what I believe.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, oh, a lot of people are posting this guy. I'm not even going to listen to this fucking thing or know who this person is. I'm just going to repost it. Great. So that everybody knows what I think. And it's like, I assume that
you've circled back to like figure out what it means.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
But I definitely have probably done similar things in the past. So I can see how it'd be easy to do, but just be ready to get ridiculed as a result.
Or take it down or be able to be like...
Or be like, oh, that was Farrakhan.
Yeah, like...
My bad.
Yeah, oops, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Like, thank you for telling me before more people know that I'm an idiot.
Right.
Anyway, so...
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. So, anyway, we pardon everybody who retweeted Farrakhan, but...
For the
record, DJT retweeted...
DJ
Mussolini. I can see it in his future.
100%.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's going to do. I think I know.
Oh, well. I think that he's going to create a media channel. Because he's kicked off all the other ones, so he's going to have somewhere to like sail his insane things. This is what I want to happen to Trump. I want him to not be able to say anything political, but he can have a forum where he only posts jokes. Like, remember when he tweeted, this was in like 2012, he tweeted, "I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke." It's hilarious. Like, I'm sorry. But
structurally there. Yeah.
Like,
all right.
Guys got jokes. There you go.
All right. Yeah, so the Donald Trump Comedy Network.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it'd be better than a lot of comedy networks.
I know, right? Yeah, he comes in to save the day. We're like, that was a plot twist. I did not see that coming.
We did not think he would be comedy's hero, that's for sure.
Well, time will tell.
Okay, so headline number 3. This is a good one. So, do you remember the show 19 Kids and Counting?
Oh, wasn't there like a bunch like this where it was like, I've got a bunch of kids and can I have a TV show? And they were like, sure.
Yeah.
And then just basically iterations of that.
Yep, pretty much. So this was
one of those.
This was like the very first one, and I think
that's a lot of kids.
So many. You have a puppy mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty mill.
Kitty
mill.
Truly. You have a litter, ma'am? You have a litter of children.
The scientific term is now a litter.
Yeah. So, one of the sons of that family, who was like a family values activist, which basically just means like...
Look at all these people behind me!
Yeah. I'm like, what's a family values activist? I think that's code for
like
anti-gay and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That too. Anti-gay, anti-abortion, clearly.
Anti-birth control,
obviously.
Yeah.
Family values.
Yeah, we have so many family values about this family that we can't afford. So ridiculous. So anyway, so the family values activist John Dugar had a paid Ashley Madison account. Epic.
I remember that hack.
Yes.
And all those Ashley Madison. Oh my God.
We should cover that one day.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Noted. Ashley Madison was, correct me if I'm wrong, basically you created this account if you wanted to like cheat.
Yep.
It was like specifically like a Match.com, but for cheaters.
Yes, it was. And it's so sad and so gross, and men are gross.
So that means maybe he has additional kids.
Yeah,
19
maybe.
kids, and then
That's
also
true.
his Ashley Madison family.
Yeah.
He's like, 21 kids! And he's like, I'm gonna take over.
This is my daughter Ashley. This is my daughter Madison.
Ashley Jr., Ashley Sr.
Yeah.
Ashley the third.
I love the idea of men just like going on there trying to cheat on their spouses, and it's just all men. Like, obviously there were some women that were a part of that website, obviously, but like I have to assume that the percentage was really small.
I would love. Oh my God, we definitely got to look into this.
Yeah, because that's got to be pretty funny.
It's got to be like 95% men.
Yeah. And this case also, it like confirms my belief that anyone who is over the top about anything publicly is the exact opposite in real life.
Family values, Ashley Madison Duggar.
Yeah,
okay.
Look at that. It's like, it's sort of like,
kids.
you know, I really think that anybody who runs a charity needs to just be put on a watch list. Just put them on a watch list. Just
keep an eye. Watch is literally just monitor what's up with this person.
Like Larry Nassar, that guy who was diddling all the gymnastics girls.
Yes, that one.
That was horrible.
Yeah,
and Epstein, cool. Ghislaine, they had these crazy charities.
Ghislaine.
Put them. I like to call her Ghislaine.
I love that. Also, do you know she was like, I don't know where she is now, but she was a couple miles away for a long time. I really wanted to go.
No way, really?
Yeah, they were holding her in a Brooklyn jail.
Oh, or like, I wanted
to go so bad. Like, Ghislaine, are you in there? What's up?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, we really haven't heard much about that.
No.
Actually, I'm curious to see what happens with Ghislaine, as I like to call her.
Well,
anyway,
just living it up.
Okay, so the next one was Condé Nast CFO tried to pay $2,500 for a night with a gay porn star. My issue with this one mostly is $2,500. That seems really low. Guy's a porn star. Hello, like
I don't know the rates for this, but also he's the CFO. Like, know your target audience. Yeah. You know, like charge more.
Yeah. Well, I would be like, I don't know. I'm a porn star.
Star.
I'm a star.
I'm a star. $2,500. I'm assuming I'm not just hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Maybe they were literally just having like going to dinner and then that was it.
Yeah.
That case, maybe $2,500 is free or makes sense, but I would assume this was probably like a sexual thing.
One would surmise.
In which case, charge more.
Definitely charge more. This guy did not.
I guess the guy was probably like on board. Also, wait, hold on. Gay porn star. Yeah, so it was a dude.
Yeah. So basically, this was actually taken down. But basically, like, so you think like, oh, Gawker did something nice and like noble for once because he wasn't out as gay. This guy, so they outed him as gay, which is really fucked up. Obviously,
you paid the extra $5,000.
So
for the quiet dude, then.
So then they took it down.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
No.
So they took it down, so everyone's like, "Oh, Gawker did something, you know, notable for once, or noble for once." And the reason that they took it down was not for noble reasons. It was because it lacked newsworthiness because the subject wasn't public enough of a figure. So.
Also, they probably, I would imagine that they have because they have to buy. That's the thing, is all these things are putting ads on their sites and stuff like that. And I would imagine Condé Nast is involved in that to some extent.
Oh yeah, that's probably the real reason,
right?
Or at least partially. That's a good point.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I didn't even think about.
I don't know how the ad buying works on the back end for a lot of those websites, but I can't imagine that the CFO isn't in a media company, isn't like LinkedIn to the people where it would matter.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
Yeah.
That's my analysis. But also, Gawker's definitely not the good guy in this scenario. That's definitely not the case.
But now the CFO is out and he has a husband, which is great.
Oh, that's lovely.
And his husband is very, very, very handsome, I have to say.
Is he a porn star? What if they married that guy? Lifetime movie!
Probably not, because that guy fucking gave information to Gawker.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. But it's kind of hot. Okay.
Yeah. Is it? Okay, so the last one before I get into the meat of what took Gawker down finally is headline number 5: Is Donald Trump's hair a $60,000 weave? A Gawker investigation. My conclusion is no. That is way too high. It looks horrible.
It definitely does not cost $60,000. Or if it does, then I just have no idea what hair costs.
Yeah, no
Apparently,
way.
I don't think so.
No way.
But also, imagine if that was the story of your career.
Yeah.
That someone's job was to find out.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Granted,
sucks. I mean, what do I do every day? So it's fine, but
yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun.
It'd be fun, but then it would also just be you'd have those meaning of life moments where you're like, huh. All right. Whatever. Life's meaningless. Just enjoy it. At least that's funny.
You don't know that?
At least that's funny. It's great.
Yeah, that is really. I feel like I used to have those moments so much more early on in my career where I'd be like, "What am I doing?" Blah blah blah. And now I just make myself really busy with comedy on the side and don't have time to think about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's why we're here.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine, I promise. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the meat and potatoes of what took Gawker down.
Let's hear it.
So I'm kind of sad that it got taken down because it sounds like a fucking national treasure based on these headlines. But it's a good thing because they were kind of bullies.
It would be a perfect Instagram account.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
there's a lot of Instagram accounts that kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy who started it. I'm sure the guy who started it is doing
involved.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so what eventually took them down was the infamous 2013 case of Belia versus Gawker, aka Hulk Hogan versus Gawker.
I don't remember this. Oh. So I will need some context.
Woo!
So this is perfect because...
Get ready.
2013, what was I doing? I was swimming. I just graduated college.
Nice.
And I literally put my head in the chlorine and learned nothing for a year.
It's kind of amazing that you spent so much of your life literally underwater. If you think about it like that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah. Not a lot of information flowing in my brain during those times, but so here we are. Yeah, I'm an empty slate. Ready. It's the vessel.
Okay, so little background in 2006. So this is what I can't do math. 7 years before the case was brought to court.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was videotaped having sex with Heather 𝐂𝐬𝐄. Tough last name. Clam. With Heather's clam. Yeah.
Gross.
That is disgusting.
Who's that?
Okay, so Heather 𝐂𝐬𝐄 was the wife of Hulk Hogan's best friend, Bubba 𝐂𝐂𝐬.
Bubba 𝐂𝐂𝐬.
AKA radio personality Bubba the Love Sponge.
Why was his name Bubba the Love Sponge? That's like one of those sponges that you use for like birth control.
Oh, like in
you know what I mean?
In Seinfeld when Elaine's they was not sponge-worthy when she was running out of sponges.
yeah, exactly. Is that what Bubba the Love Sponge is supposed to reference? Because
I've seen photos of him. I think he just looks like a sponge.
Oh boy.
He's just big man.
So also Hulk Hogan's best friend. So that's not awesome. Why was he videotaping himself?
Well. Okay, so...
Hold on. Yeah, more information.
So he was fucking his best friend's wife, Heather 𝐂𝐬𝐄, but according to Hulk, he said on Howard Stern, so he was on the radio talking about this, which is important to the case later on.
Okay.
But he said on Howard Stern, he was like, this wasn't behind Bubba's back. Bubba basically had a cuckolding kink. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you, man?
So he
Whatever,
really...
love sponge.
He loved other men sleeping with his wife, and he, like, got off on it. Which I'm
Not
like...
for me, but good for you.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Like, I feel like a lot of people would love an open relationship like that. If I had to, like, have sex with random men and Mark watching, like...
Not for me.
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't want, like, a gimp in the side of my room. I don't want some guy in a gimp suit watching me and Mark have sex. I don't want to have sex with a gimp with Mark watching us. I'm good.
Yeah. Same. All set.
Yeah.
But
so,
I respect that that's some people's thing. But videoing it
is weird.
Sounds like a maybe ill-advised when you're a celeb.
So he didn't know that it was being videotaped.
That's not awesome either.
Not great.
Wouldn't love that either.
Not good.
I understand why he might not be happy about that.
Yep. And Bubba the Love Sponge wasn't there when it all went down. So basically...
I love that his name is Bubba the Love Sponge.
I know.
Where was Bubba the Love Sponge?
The characters in this are so good, and we should definitely put a slideshow of the characters on our Instagram that you guys can
enjoy.
Can look at while you're listening to this. But, so yeah, not to kink shame, you know, whatever, like, let's let Army Hammer go, which is a whole nother thing.
We were trying to look at his Finsta. Like, apparently he has a Finsta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there's all these fake ones now, too. And anyway, that was a whole...
Lucky for him. He's like, thank God they can't, like, track my real Finsta because...
Right. Well, I mean, everyone knows what it is, but it's obviously private, so... Damn.
Wow.
If I could just get in there.
It's quite the story.
But I do care, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I've dedicated my entire day to it. Of course. So, according to Hulk, he went over to the Clem's house to say hello. And, like, he was going through that, like, really public divorce. Remember that?
No.
You're not super tuned into the Hogans.
I missed that one.
Okay, so basically he was just going through a really painful divorce. And it was public because his family
sucks.
had a reality TV show. Like
I do. What, Hogan Knows Best?
Yeah, Hogan Knows Best.
Right. Who is he married to?
Some woman who just looks exactly like someone who would be married to Hulk Hogan.
Okay,
like
cool.
Kind of like Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife to Dog.
Yeah. Dog Bounty Hunter, if you showed me a picture of that and Hulk Hogan, I'd be like, same.
Yeah.
Same, but different.
Same, but different, but same. So basically Heather was like relentlessly coming on to him, and so he just like went ahead and gave it.
He's like, fine, I'll cuck you or whatever it's called.
Whatever. So Bubba later testified that they were videotaping him he didn't know that they were being videotaped, and he had burned a videotape of the DVD of his wife and Hulk banging and wrote Hogan on it before putting it away in a desk drawer. So he's like holding
also,
still.
that's your best friend?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it was really sad on Howard Stern. Hulk Hogan said, he was like, I thought I could trust these people. I thought they loved me, which is really sad. I know.
That actually
is really, really sad. But he's
also, that sounds like a really complicated relationship.
Yeah, totally. Like, please fuck my wife.
And I'm gonna video it. That's actually that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was consistent
Big
with their
time
erratic
bummer.
behavior. But
Big time bummer. So, basically, Bubba is consistently saying that he's not the one who leaked it to Gawker, but like, I don't know about that. You know.
I don't believe ya, but I also have nothing invested here, so.
Yeah. Okay, so.
No!
So in October of 2012, Gawker editor 𝐂𝐍𝐄𝐃, he published a 2-minute extract from the 30-minute video, which I'm like, 30 minutes? Dang.
30 minutes? Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, truly.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, sometimes like it feels like me and Mark are having sex for like an hour, and then I look at my watch and I'm like, oh, it's been 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's tiring. It's a very active, I mean, it should be a very active thing. An hour? Or 30 minutes?
30 minutes. 30 minutes, but
30 minutes is still
a long time.
I would imagine there's probably like
foreplay and dancing.
Yeah.
And whatever, but still.
A cup of coffee.
Yeah, a cup of coffee.
I don't know.
But apparently in this clip that they included, it was 10 seconds of explicit sexual activity. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like her blowing him? Like them fucking? What does that mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Also, what isn't explicit around it? Also,
I think like she was like bending over and like doing a little dance or what. Like it wasn't like his dick inside of an orifice yet.
Okay, just 10 seconds of that. Great.
Yeah.
Great. The only part that counts.
Yeah. Also, I said like I was trying to look it up and I can't find it anywhere. But then after searching for a little while, I was like, oh, I'm on a work computer. Oh.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan fucked
Bubba
Sponge. Everyone's like, May?
Yeah, I just get
it's for a client.
Yeah, right. My boss is like, can we have a one-on-one? I'm like, is this about my podcast? And she's like, no. This is about you looking up porn on your fucking computer. So ridiculous. So let's move on to the trial and the verdict.
Okay, so can we just, go through the trial? Like, why was there a trial, first of all? What part of this was illegal?
Okay, so originally, Hulk had sued Gawker for copyright infringement on the U.S. District Court. But
That's so funny.
Yeah, but then...
I need to be paid royalties on that. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm Hulk Hogan. It says Hulk Hogan right there. Yeah. The judge denied his motion, ruling that the validity of the copyright laws were in question, and given that Hulk was already a public figure, the publication of the video might be protected by fair use. So Hulk withdrew his case from the U.S. District Court and sued Gawker in a Florida state court. Because they live in Tampa, because of course they do.
Of course. Yeah. No further questions there at all.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely Tampa. Love Tampa. But Hulk Hogan makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, I guess Florida laws, I would imagine that they're probably...
looser, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, actually, I feel like they'd be like, listen, we got bigger fish to fry than you having sex with someone. Who cares?
Some guy just had sex with an alligator in the courtroom.
Is worrisome.
Yeah.
We gotta get him out, and so we're busy, is what I'm saying.
But, twists and turns. And maybe they just love him down there or something. But his request was granted. So.
Oh my god. Okay, so they got it taken down because of Florida.
Wait, what?
No, keep going.
Okay. So
following, trying.
Okay, no, yeah.
You're talking about legal stuff, and I'm like,
oh, legal stuff is tough for me. I was really trying to make sense of this Wikipedia article, and I was like getting in the weeds.
No, I know it's hard. That's what we're here for, is to try to translate it, kind of, maybe.
So basically, Gawker announced they're like, we're not going to comply with this part of a court order requiring the removal of the post
because it's from Tampa, Florida court,
like,
which we're pretty sure is not real.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
And the associated commentary on Gawker because it was deemed they deemed the order risible. I've never known that word before in my life.
It sounds like visible with a lisp.
Yeah, risible. And contemptuous of centuries of First Amendment jury prejudice.
Oh, centuries of prejudice.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. You're certainly taking a stand there. I don't know what they're taking a stand for, but something.
No, me neither. And if I were a lawyer, I'd be like, that sounds legit, I guess. I'd be the worst lawyer ever.
Yeah. All right.
They just make things
They said prejudice. I don't like that either. I think prejudice is bad. We shouldn't. Yeah. We're done. I guess,
except for prejudice against people from Florida, because I get it. Just kidding, Florida. I love you guys. So,
do love Florida. But
all the people listening from Florida that I know.
My mom and dad. Except for hopefully not. Oh my god.
Yeah, right? Totally.
Cancel.
So Gawker ended up removing the video itself, but then in the pettiest turn of events, they linked readers to another site that was hosting the video.
Okay, that's the same fucking thing.
But then
come on, Gawker. That is very petty. It's so funny.
It's petty, and it's also sort of like, I think that they're trying to put out there like, oh, you're gonna make us take this down. Well, it's already out there. You fucking like, why aren't you suing them then? Right. I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah, once it's out on the internet, like, good luck. Yeah. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. If you went on like a torrenting website or something like that, or the dark web. Oh, do you know about the dark web? Mm-mm. I need to talk about the dark web. It's fascinating. Okay. Anyway, but point being, you can like, it's basically like Amazon for like drugs and shit.
Oh, like Silk Road.
Yes, was on the dark web.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Carry
on. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Gawker removed the video itself. Like I said, the injunction was, which I don't even know what that is, was quickly stayed on appeal, but it was denied in 2014 by the appeals court. Blah, 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 legal jargon, yada, yada. Essentially, Gawker tried to get the judge to dismiss the case based on that ruling, but the case went to trial. So now they're going to trial.
Okay.
So this was all like...
Gawker's like... Truly, is this a real court?
Yeah.
We're still not sure. Do we need to protect ourselves from alligators when we come?
Crazy. Or like crazy people on meth or whatever.
Yeah, like what's up?
So the trial lasted 2 weeks and it had a 6-person jury of 4 women and 2 men, which I'm kind of assuming was probably picked by Hulk's team because they want, like, especially with like sex cases, they want women that are like, we understand how it feels to be violated, you know.
Ooh. Were they Florida women?
They were Florida women. a court of their peers.
Tampa ladies.
Tampa ladies, only the classiest.
Yeah, absolutely.
During the trial, Gawker argued that Bollea made his sex life a public matter, although on cross-examination, when asked by Bollea's lawyer whether the depiction of his genitalia had any news value, former Gawker editor, because he was fired at this point, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄𝐃, who published the story, responded, no. Which is kind of funny.
Wait, why was he fired? Because put up
this.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were like, listen, buddy, this was a lot of trouble.
Well, I don't even think that. I think that they were probably like, we have to like distance ourselves from this.
That sucks.
Because
that sucks to like, okay. That sucks to dedicate, once again, back to like, if this is your life's work, and then you get fired, and then you're like in court in Tampa with Hulk Hogan, and you're like, what twist happened in my life?
Yeah, literally. Now
Road less traveled, if I may.
I'm getting sued in Tampa by Hulk Hogan.
For showing him fucking his best friend's wife on Gawker.
Which was already out there. And I was just doing my job.
That's a real thing this person had to go through.
And probably, by the way, doing his job in a way, like, I'm sure Gawker was like, yes, this is so good. Like, do more of this.
Probably, and then he gets fired. That sucks. That's really annoying.
Hopefully he got a really nice severance, but
still.
I mean,
wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, we could look him up on LinkedIn.
Oh my god.
So then,
do that?
Yeah, right. So they cross-examined Hulk, and they talked about his interview on Howard Stern, because they were like, if this was really so emotional for you, then how come you were able to talk about it on Howard Stern? And if it was really this private, then why would you talk about it publicly?
Kind of fair.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it's totally fair, but talking about it and seeing it is like two different things.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan said that basically when he was being interviewed by Howard Stern, that was his character. So that was his on-air persona as the Hulk. And that's different than who he is as a person.
Interesting.
Terry Bollea.
I don't know if that holds up in court, but I kind of get it.
I get it too.
Where you're like, you're gonna be kind of you're gonna be very upset if you see like your dick just flopping around without your consent.
Yeah, and
even if your joke version of yourself might be fine with it.
Right, but I think the reason that it wouldn't hold up in court anyway is like, yes, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, and I feel badly for him, but also like he already had a reality TV show where he was playing his true self, so he's still a public figure as Terry, and he's still a public figure as Hulk.
Right.
But you know, it's really I think it's fucked up what they did, obviously, but it's very interesting defense. Yeah, I don't think I've heard that in any other case.
Well, what happened?
Okay.
Carry on. How did it go for him?
Oh, this is also funny in court. So, I'll get to this. So the 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿𝐿, so the one who wrote the article, at one point the court showed a tape where, I don't know if like they caught him on tape or what the context of the conversation was, but basically, he said that, oh shit, I'm like losing my fucking train of thought here. He goes,
no, you got it. What's 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿𝐿 up to?
So
who is that, first of all?
He was like the only reason. 𝐂𝐎𝐿𝐿 is the guy who wrote the article.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. So he was the one who wrote the article, and he said that the only way that he would consider a celebrity sex tape non-newsworthy is if the subject was under the age of 4.
Okay, well, that just feels like a weird thing to say.
Yeah, totally. And he didn't know that he was being recorded. And, like, listen, he was probably making a joke, like, being like, of course it's newsworthy, but it's, like, it's fucking quite a
Why did you say that?
Yeah. Really fucking weird.
We're all freaked out now.
Super weird. Yeah, super, super freaked out. So, on March 18th, 2016, the jury delivered the verdict in favor of Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea.
Okay, good for him.
Both of those people, I guess.
Congrats.
And the jury...
The sponge.
And the jury awarded him $115 million in compensatory... Yep.
Oh my god, honestly, one of the more profitable sex tapes out there.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I know, right? And it also included $60 million for emotional distress.
That's... really probably not the right amount of money.
That's exactly what Gawker said. Gawker said they were like, that's kind of, they like repealed it a million times because they can't even afford to pay that.
No,
like,
first of all, there's no way. There's no way.
So this was going to put them out of business. And they were saying they were like emotional distress, 60 million. They were like that far exceeds people that have been through like horrific
real
accidents
things
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to say this isn't real, but like, let's be real. Like,
yeah, I mean, somebody who gets in like a car accident where they're paralyzed the rest of their lives, like
absolutely.
They deserve.
I would assume. A lot. Well, I guess I don't know what the standards are, but I would imagine they're not getting 60 million. Right?
They're not. No, they're not.
There you go. Just because you're Hulk Hogan.
Right.
You probably got off, so you know. You're fine.
Yeah, and then so apparently, in May of 2016, it was reported that Hulk Hogan sued Gawker again because
he's like the gift that keeps on giving. Let's get back in there. Why not?
Truly. Because apparently at one point during the trial, they had leaked sealed court documents that quoted him using racial slurs.
In court?
In court.
Why were you doing that, Hulk?
I don't know. Because he's Hulk Hogan.
I'm not asking you to defend him. Yeah, that's true. He just got in there and he was like, we're in Tampa, there's a gator in here, like, whatever.
Whatever. Someone's like beating their wife in a wife beater outside. Like, it's whatever.
It's literally
crushing
chaos.
Four Loko on their forehead.
Chaos.
So the transcripts were published by the National Enquirer, World Wrestling Entertainment.
Love that.
Fired him.
Oh, I forgot that he like probably had like a job and shit.
Yeah.
He's become such a figure that I really don't associate him with like wrestling anymore.
Yeah, but, truly. And also, like, here's the thing, is that, so they fired him for a little bit, but then they actually re-signed him in 2018, because I feel like if there's any group of people that would appreciate racial slurs,
100%.
It's WWE fans.
100%. Like, not that they're, excited about them, but they're just like, that's fine.
They're like,
we are asking you to beat the shit out of each other. Like,
this is how me and my wife talk before we go and watch WWE on pay-per-view.
Absolutely. I would imagine. I mean, I don't know. I do kind of want to go to a WWE.
I would love to.
Definitely.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, once we can.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, Barclays. I bet they have them.
Yeah, I bet they have them, too.
They have
that
them.
Would be so
For sure.
much fun and so ridiculous. What a hilarious way for you and I to spend our time. And money.
We're going to be there like, hey!
People are like, damn, post-pandemic, you guys will really do anything. But that would be
Y'all
so
are real bored.
I mean, I would like it for, like, the voyeurism.
100%.
Yeah.
It sounds fascinating.
It really does. I would love to go.
Okay. Well.
So
that's definitely going to be, like, last thing to come back.
Yeah.
They're, like, literally, you're, like, on each other. Like, that's not 6 feet.
With, like, signs and shit. Yeah. We should make a sign, paint our faces.
Yep. Yep. They're for it.
So anyway,
you guys can come.
After,
no, don't actually.
Yeah, WWE gave him a raise for being racist. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
They might have. But
I'm sure he didn't get signed for cheap.
No, definitely not. So here's where it starts to get really weird, as if it hasn't been weird enough.
It has been, and but here we go.
It's about to close up, but this is the last little twist in the story. So questions were being raised about who the fuck was financing his legal team. Hulk's legal team.
The Sponge's legal team?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was like against Sponge, sort of.
Versus.
It turns out that once the sex tape was leaked, Hulk was contacted by a man named Peter Theil. Okay. So, who the fuck is Peter Theil? So, Peter Theil got in touch with him after the sex tape was leaked on Gawker, and he is the co-founder of PayPal and current Facebook board member. Yes, ma'am.
Why? Hello, Peter.
Okay.
Are you bored? Honestly, if he just did it for shits, hero. Can you imagine? That would just be the most fun use of, like, you want billionaires to just, like, get creative. That's fucking creative. I love that.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because he called his financial support of Hulk Hogan's case, quote, one of my greater philanthropic things that I've done.
He just was like, oh, God. See, that's, like, the one thing is, like, when you're that rich, you can just, you know.
You just bail people out. Like,
what if I just went in there and just randomly got Hulk Hogan badass lawyers and just watched what happened?
It wasn't as random as that, but, yeah, a little bit random. But basically,
so funny.
He paid $10 million, all in all, to help finance the lawsuits against Gawker.
I mean, he probably got that money back.
Yeah, definitely.
So, good investment. He's an investor.
So, you raised some good questions. Why does he hate Gawker so much? Well, in 2007, they published an article outing him as well as gay.
Oh,
which is
you shouldn't
really
you shouldn't do that. That's not cool.
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm realizing it, that CFO I talked about earlier, who is different than him in that headline, I don't know if he's married or not. I was looking at this guy's husband, Matt Danzison.
Oh, okay.
Is his
Okay.
name. So the
original CFO
Peter
might
Theil's,
still be on the market.
Yeah, he might still be on the market.
Gentlemen, ladies, give it a shot. Shoot your shot.
I also love that they're outing somebody who works at Condé Nast. I'm like, yeah, I assumed he was gay. He works at Condé Nast.
Right, first of all, we're not like, that's not a stretch.
Right.
Also, he's the CEO. Like, it's not relevant. Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit? Whatever. But this guy, Peter Theil, he has the hot husband. So anyway, well, good to know.
Peter's off the market.
Yeah.
But also, oh my God, I love that. Just being petty. Mm-hmm. Peter wins the pettiest, but like for such a good that's fantastic.
So fucking petty.
I'm very into Peter Theil right now. I'm very excited about this guy. Just randomly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually watched a documentary about this a really long time ago, but like they painted him as kind of like a psycho guy, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like
if a magazine
is outed
people and then also
it's
myself,
morally wrong.
And then I had like a weird amount of money to just do things with. Why not?
Yeah, and saw an opportunity like Hulk Hogan
to fuck them up.
Might have some legs here, and like let's like really take them down. I would probably do it too.
Damn.
Yeah. So in 2016, Gawker filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and put itself up for sale, and Univision bought it for $136 million.
That's a good price.
So the sale included 6 Gawker-related websites, and they shut down the actual Gawker website.
Okay, so they basically did a rebrand action.
Yeah, so there's still Deadspin, Gizmodo, Jalopnik, Jezebel,
we know.
Kotaku, and Lifehacker.
I've heard of Lifehacker, and I know Jezebel.
Also Gizmodo I've heard of too. Okay. But the rest of them
I'm sure I've seen like random articles linking to them, but but damn. Totally.
Yeah, so basically RIP Gawker Media.
But also fuck off. Like don't rest in peace. Rest in not RINP. RINP. I
mean, some of the stuff was like really funny, but
and I'm sure a bunch of the employees were like, I don't know, outing people's not good, just like the problematic behavior, but some of the stuff sounds pretty fucking funny. The Mussolini thing is hilarious.
That's really, really, really funny.
Really funny. Really funny. But Jezebel's like similar. I feel like they have some stuff where I'm like, and then some stuff where I'm like, that's very funny.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and all the employees, I don't know about all of them, but most of them didn't get laid off, and they were just like redistributed to these other subsidiaries.
Better. Yeah. That's the thing about, I was talking to my friend about this, like when people file bankruptcy for Chapter 11, it's often, just kind of a normal thing to restructure. Yeah. So it's like to either, I don't know, I should bring her on to like talk about the reasons that people go through this, because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's very rarely do they completely close their doors and like, rest in peace. That's the end. Yeah. It's generally they're going to come back in just like a kind of refashioned way, and this is the way for them to work their assets in the back end.
Right. So I really don't understand bankruptcy at all. I'm like Michael Scott, like I declare bankruptcy. That's me.
Well,
truly.
There you go.
It hasn't worked for me yet, but
no. Well, I mean, it's basically like if you have all this stuff and you're like, how do I reorganize my closet? And it's like you just go to the bankruptcy court and you're like, none of that counts anymore, just redo it, like pay the investors, we're all good, okay, you're gonna get like 50 cents on the dollar on your investment, now go fuck off, and we're a retail site online now instead.
I don't
which is like Modell's, that's what they're doing. Modell's Sporting Goods. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just got bought. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on a tangent because it's a different thing. But maybe I'll do some stuff on reasons you do Chapter 11 another episode.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, that was Gawker. You guys can look into it. There's a documentary, like I said, that's really fun, and it's nice to see some visuals with this. We'll put up photos of the characters
Hulk
involved.
And the Sponge. I miss him.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing. He's probably living it up.
Hope you guys liked it. I'm sorry I lost my place at some point.
We're furious.
You guys.
How dare you?
Listen, this is a super serious financial podcast.
Oh, well, Gawker, don't rest in peace. And you guys like and subscribe. 5 stars. as always.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. And come back next week for one of my stories.
Yeah, do you have a teaser? Do you know what you're doing or not yet?
I don't know. I feel like I've teased like 25 things per episode. I'm like forever just like, what if I did this? I might do Silk Road.
Oh, yeah,
I think that one's a really interesting one.
That is really fun. And kind of irrelevant now because it's like, drugs are legal.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But it was
crazy.
It was also not just drugs. It was like, you want to get a murderer? Like,
no way.
Silk Road it up.
Oh my God, what a stupid thing to do. And then people are like, well, I'm tracking you ordering this murderer.
But you can't, that's the whole thing, is you would pay with Bitcoin, and it goes into the Bitcoin stuff. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. See you guys.